So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my bubble braids. I have worn these bubble braids in a couple Instagram photos and a few TikToks of mine, and I have gotten so many requests to do like tutorials or a quick showing of how I do this, because it must be so hard and it must take so long to get your braid to look like that. How do you do that? No. Girl, it's a bubble braid. It's so easy. It takes like 10 minutes and it adds such a fairy tale cute little girly moment. There's a million different ways to wear it. You can be Princess Leia if you want. You can wear them in a French braid. You can wear them any way you want. But if you guys want to see how I do my bubble braids and how it only takes me like 10 minutes to do, then just keep on watching. Okay, before we jump into the tutorial, I wanted to talk about my hair really quick. My hair. Because my hair is actually like, find a good piece. My hair's like actually like not that long. This is my hair right there. If you've been watching any of my other videos and stuff, one of my favorite things or favorite like beauty products, you know how everybody has like a niche, like some people like, you know what I mean, like makeup, some people like skincare. Like my niche is hair extensions. I love hair extensions. I've always loved them. I love switching up my looks. So I've always been a fan of tape-ins. I've tried a bunch of brands and stuff. Truly like Remy salon quality extensions. I will say I did get lighter tapes, and the reason I did that, here's one of them in my hair, is because I wanted to try, like lighten up my balayage and give me like a super summery look. That was also something they kind of helped me with when I was trying to color match for my extensions. They were really cool about like, what are you like looking for? Do you want a blend? Do you want like dimension? Do you want lowlights? Do you want highlights? And I was like, I want a brighter look. Boom, here's your color. So I blended two colors in. I did the P1422 and the P1822. They're 22 inches. This is what they look like. They hold a curl. This curl is like from like 3 days ago. I've like slept in it, and then all I have to do is like brush it and like zhuzh it, and my curl is back. So they hold a curl really well. But I do want to say that I didn't just install these yesterday. They gave me time with the hair before talking about it or wanting to do, you know what I mean, any type of content, which I absolutely loved, because I can tell you that I've done multiple washes and the tapes are so strong. So I've washed my hair since installing them. I installed them about 2.5 weeks ago, and I have washed them 3 times. I have curled them, straightened them. I will say I do have like a care routine that I follow really strictly. That's another reason why I can keep them so nice. But if it's crappy tapes, they're not going to stay in. They're not. They're so bomb. And if you want to see a video of how I install my tape-ins, I will link that like in a link around here. I'll put it down below, and I'll also throw it at the end of the video so you can see how I put them in, because I feel like they are the easiest extensions to install at home, slowly and with practice, but the easiest ones to do by yourself. So what you're going to need for your bubble braids is a rat tail comb so you can split your hair right down the middle. I have these little clippies here that kind of hold other sections out of the way as I move on to other ones, just so that I don't combine them. It kind of happens, and honestly, the messier your bubble braids look, for some reason they look better. As long as the base is clean, the messier the braid is, the better. I also have clear elastics, or you can use elastics that blend in with your hair. Honestly, I've used black ones too. If you really zhuzh up your bubble braid, you won't be able to see the elastics. So if you have black or something and you have like blonde hair, it's not gonna matter. But I just picked up clear ones just for this. I also have some bobby pins in case I have like bumps or anything that I want to kind of like lay down, or any areas I want to fix, because it is a little bit hard once you're moving down the braid to go backwards. That's the only thing. It's not like a braid where you can like unbraid a little bit and then continue down the rest of the braid. You kind of just have to go with the flow. You can go back and fix a little as long as the mistake is like 1 or 2 links up, but if it's like at the base and you're towards the end, it's gonna take forever to go back. Okay, so going forward is the only way to really go. So take your time with it. Remember, messy looks better, and you have to trust the process, because it looks crazy at first. In like the first few links of bubble braid, you're like, what is this? And then towards the end, it starts to look so good. So the first step is just throwing your hair into 2 equal ponytails at your desired height, any height you want or any height you feel like. The higher, the sassier, girl, whatever you want to do, just throw your hair up into 2 ponytails. So I like my bubble braids really messy and voluminous, and this is like kind of where I make up for that. I like the ponytail and the base to be really clean. If you want, and you want a little extra sass, you can take some pieces out right here. That adds a little bit to the look, you know what I mean? You can kind of curl these at the end. So I'm gonna take this out. All right, so we have slung our first pony. Here she is, she's up high, she's sassy, she's in a good spot. And now I'm just going to try to mirror that on the other side. Okay, now both ponies are in. I'm going to assess where there's little bumps, and then I'm gonna take a couple bobby pins. These are just gold ones because I like that they're gold. And I'm just going to try to smooth out any lumps or bumps moving forward because I don't like those. And then I will take a little bit of like hairspray. I try not to put it directly on the tapes because I like to go as long as I can without washing them. I did kind of like go around and check to see if you can't really see any extensions showing. You can see a little bit of highlighting right here though. There you go. And then right here you can see I have feathers in my hair, so you can see the little beading of the feathers, but I put a bobby pin over it. So if you see that, that is my feathers. I have a yellow one and a white one somewhere hidden in my hair. There they are. And you can see their beads right here. So ignore that. So now I'm just gonna brush out any tangles in the ponytails because I feel like if there are tangles, it makes bubble braiding so much harder because you kind of have to like separate pieces and do sections, and whenever there's like tangles and stuff, it's a little bit harder to break up sections like that. Okay, now the bubble braiding process begins. All right, now that you're closer, here is my ponytail. I'm going to kind of cut it in half. See that? So I just like took my finger and I split it in half, just like this. And then this piece, this back piece here, here's the front piece. I'm gonna take the back piece, make sure you can see. Here, I'll go on this side. I'm taking the back piece and I'm gonna split that in half. So now it's like this behind it. See, I got that back piece split, and I'm just gonna bring it forward, okay? So you're gonna bring it forward and make sure that this guy is just kind of sitting in the middle. That. This is where the clips come into play. I like to clip this piece down so that I don't accidentally tie it up in with this piece. Then you're just gonna take your elastic and you're gonna tie the two halved back pieces in the front. Now, if you miss that, don't worry, because you're gonna repeat this process about 1,000 times. So, you can see I have this weird piece in the front. The way you're gonna separate or distinguish this piece as being a separate piece is you kind of grab a couple of these little front pieces like this. I like to hold on to the bottom here, and I fluff them up. So I know right now, I also like the piece that's in there, I like my base to be really voluminous, so I kind of fluff that up too. As you can see, I just fluff it like that. See how it's fluffed up now? Okay. And you're gonna keep fluffing as you go, but trust the process. So now we're gonna do the same thing. This back piece is a little too thick to use the whole piece, so I'm going to take about 1 inch of hair in the back, split it in half back there, like this, bring it to the front. Then I'm gonna clip the bottom section down so that I don't accidentally tie it in with the rest. Then you take a clear elastic, tie it in front, just like that. You can take your clip out, and then you're gonna zhuzh this up again and kind of pull it up. Don't be afraid to like make it look like super poofy, because the poofier it looks, the better. And this is what I was talking about. See how the elastic one before is right here? If you really puff this up, make it really voluminous and stuff, it kind of hides that previous elastic, just like that. See, so now you can kind of see where the bubble braid shape is. The more you go, the better it's gonna look. And you can always go back and keep fluffing. So I just keep repeating this process all the way down from the back, split to the front, clip, then you bring it to the front, tie it with an elastic, and zhuzh. See, I bet you didn't think it was that easy. It looks so complicated. It looks like such a thick braid. It gives the illusion of a braid. That's probably why it's so, I get so many questions, is because it looks like it's just a braid, a really, really thick, thick, thick braid. But it's so easy. You don't even need to know how to braid to do it. and then this is where I kind of go back up. I like my volume to kind of gradually get thinner towards the bottom. So as I zhuzh and make everything voluminous, I go back to the top and I keep volumizing these ones so that it's kind of like a gradient and it gets, you know what I mean, smaller towards the bottom. So just repeating that all the way down. Now it's totally up to you how far down you want to go. You could totally cut it off and just do a curl at the bottom, but for some reason it does look really, really, really good the lower and lower you go. And it's gonna get a little bit harder because you are working with less and less hair towards the bottom, but trust me, you keep kind of like pumping up those bubbles. Quick tip on how to puff up the bubbles: don't grab like all the hair, right? What you wanna do is hold it at the base where the hair tie is, and then like I'm only grabbing like these front tiny pieces and zhuzhing them up. The back is still intact. I don't want to grab the whole hair and pull the hair out. I only grab front pieces of each section. As you can see, like the back is still tight back there. I just poof the front. So that kind of helps you. That's kind of why it's called a bubble, is because it's not just the whole hair poofed up. Your back section is actually still flat. It's just these front pieces that you've now kind of tousled and pushed up. And it gives the illusion of a super, super, super thick braid. So really fast, the way you end it is really, really easy. So here is my last little bubble braid, and here's what's behind it. I literally just combine it and throw an elastic around it. That's how I cut off or end the braid. Goes. So look at how voluminous and like fairy tale-esque that is. You can throw little butterfly clips in here. Now we're gonna do the other side. So if you wanted to do a French braid or French bubble braid, which is basically the same braid except for it's just kind of connected to your head, it is so easy. It's basically the same exact steps. You just skip throwing your hair into pigtails at first. And this first little section, you just start it right here. That's all you do. So you would grab a chunk of hair in the front, split it in half, and then just do the exact same thing. You take the back pieces, bring it to the front, and you tie it around. I will say that one needs a little bit of finessing just because it has to be cleaner towards the front. Just because you're adding so much volume. But I do think it looks so, so, so good as a French braid as well. And then also one thing I like to mention with those is that you kind of have to be aware of where you're tying your elastics off, because when you're doing these braids can kind of twist and turn and be in any direction. Those ones, you kind of want your elastics to be tied in the back. So as you're tying them, you don't want to be tying them right here. You want to be putting your hands behind you and tying your elastics in the back. But other than that, I have done the French braid look as well. I feel like that's like super Disney princessy. I absolutely love them. I just feel like this hairstyle is just so different, and you get like a lot of questions and stuff about it because it appears to be a braid, and people are like, how do you have your braid like that? I remember the question I kept getting asked is like, how like many grams of extensions do you have in, or are you wearing extensions? Is that your natural hair? And I'm like, girl, even with your natural hair, it's just an illusion. The thickness is an illusion. I'm like basically the technique of how you're bubbling everything up. It's not even an actual braid. It's just, you know what I mean, parted sections pulled to the front. But you will get a lot of questions about it for sure. And it's just like something that's different, you know? Like I love classic like beachy waves or wearing straight styles, or even like a slicked back like ponytail or updo. But it's fun to switch it up and do stuff like this every once in a while, because it just adds like a flair to your makeup look or your outfit or something, and it just kind of makes you stand out and look super cute. My absolute favorite thing about bubble braids is that you can accessorize your hair. I mean, you can do that anyway, but you have so much volume and space in the braids to throw like clips or spray them with some glitter or do something like that, just to make them look super like fairy tale and cool. So I love to accessorize them and throw sparkly clips in there. I feel like these bubble braids are what I'm gonna wear to my baby shower, just because they're whimsical and cute and they have like a little fairy tale vibe to them. And then on top of that, it's an updo. So girl, if you wanted to go to the gym and look cute, you could do this. You can see it doesn't take long. It's like a really fast look. That's another thing I get asked a lot when I'm wearing them. People are like, how long did that take you? I knew that took forever. And I'm like, no girl. Like, it took like 10 minutes to do my hair. It doesn't take a long time at all. I will say with the French braid, it's a little bit more tedious because you have to make sure kind of which way you're going with the braid. That's a way more trust the process one because you don't really see the bubble braid right away. You have to like kind of work out a couple segments before you start to really see the braid, or the braid starts to come to shape. But you can see I keep going back up. Every time I do a section, I go back up and I kind of like zhuzh. I love to say the word zhuzh. That's just like the word for volume for me. But I just go back up the braid and I add a little bit more volume, just like that. And yeah. You also could do mini bubble braids, like if you just want to do a tiny little bubble braid in a random section of your hair. If you want to do a bubble braid like crown, that's a really, really pretty one. It adds volume. It makes it really, really easy to do a crown look if that's what you're going for. I just felt like my pigtail bubble braids were like the easiest way to show you the technique without like having to like be turned around, or because that's the one thing also with the French bubble braid, I would have had to turn around to show you, and then I can't really see what I'm showing you or what you can't see. I hate when I edit videos and I have to go back and I'm like, girl, you couldn't even see. You couldn't see half of that because I'm like out of frame or something. But yeah, it's super fast, super easy, and a really, really cute like summery look. Now we're at the bottom and I'm gonna tie it off just like this. There we go. And I like to make sure there's volume, the most important part of your bubble braids. I like to make sure that there's volume from all angles. So from the front view, the side view, everything. Look at them. So voluminous, so cute. I will say I like the clear elastics a little more because it kind of, you don't have to be really clean about hiding them. You also can make them a little higher. You can make them lower. You can do low ones. But look at how cute they look. Aren't those cute? So that is it for today's video. If you like this tutorial, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that you can be notified every time I upload. I hope you guys liked it. A lot of people wanted to see how I did it. It looks hard, it looks challenging, but it's actually super easy. It only takes like 10 minutes to do. Super cute, different little style to try out. You can do all types of looks with them. You can throw them into really cute little space buns and they look all voluminous and cute. You see that? There's so many things you can do with bubble braids. Literally, you can do a million different looks with them and they always look cute. I'll have all my socials linked down below for you guys if you guys want to follow.